Hey guys, Breakup Brad here, and in this video I'm going to answer a very common question that I receive from my clients and subscribers on a daily basis. And that question is, Brad, why is my ex being so rude and mean to me? So if your ex has changed from a kind, caring, and considerate person into someone far more rude, cold, and distant since breaking up, well, keep watching, because in this video I'm going to explain why your ex is acting this way and what you can do about it. And as always guys, if you do find this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd click the subscribe button to show your support. And of course, feel free to leave your comments and feedback in the comments section below as well. Now, let's talk about why your ex is being mean or rude to you. Now, this is actually something that happens quite frequently. So, don't think that you're alone if this is a scenario that you're facing right now. I do hear this question from my coaching clients all the time. In some cases, it can seem like your ex is sort of, flip-flopping between being nice to you or even downright affectionate and flirtatious, while the next minute they're being a jerk or just ignoring you altogether. Or, maybe your ex just seems to be trying to pick a fight every single time you interact with them. But regardless of what your ex is doing, if they're being cold, distant, rude, or confrontational, then it's almost always for one of three reasons. Reason number one is because they still have feelings for you. Now, this may sound bizarre, but often when your ex is acting like an asshole to you or being cold and distant, it actually means that they still care about you or they still have feelings for you. Their cruelty or confrontational behavior is their way of dealing with these emotions, and typically it's actually a subconscious thing rather than an actual intentional strategy. Now, for any number of reasons, your ex has decided that breaking up is the best, most logical way forward. And yet, they're still in love with you to some extent, or they still at least have lingering romantic feelings for you and care about you. And these are feelings that, of course, they no longer want to have, really, because they simply make getting over the breakup more difficult. And as a result, they can become, cold and rude, or often try and pick fights whenever you talk to them. Now, again, it may sound bizarre, but being mean or rude is a really common way that many people try to suppress these feelings and emotions after a breakup. If your ex is being very, hot and cold towards you, where they're sometimes being nice and affectionate one minute and then suddenly acting mean or indifferent the next, that's a very good indication that they're still doing this because they still care about you, and they have an internal struggle going on within themselves about the breakup. Now, if you want to learn whether your ex does indeed still have feelings for you, take my free quiz tool at breakupbrad.com/quiz. It takes less than 5 minutes, and it's going to evaluate where you stand with your ex right now and what your chances are of getting them back. Again, you can take that quiz at www.breakupbrad.com/quiz. All right, and the second reason is because they feel you're just not getting the message. So the second reason, like I said, that your ex could be acting mean, rude, or confrontational is unfortunately because they feel this type of behavior is necessary in order for you to leave them alone and accept the breakup. So by treating you poorly or being a downright asshole towards you, they may be hoping that you'll give them the space that they're looking for and stop trying to win them back. Now, if you've been begging or pleading since the breakup, asking for another chance or promising to change if they'll take you back, then your ex could very well be feeling like you're just not accepting the breakup and that being cold and rude to you in order to just try and break through your denial and get the message across. And reason number three is they hate the idea of hurting you. So it is also possible that your ex is being rude or trying to pick fights with you because they subconsciously feel like this could give them a reason to hurt you by breaking up. Now, this might sound totally bizarre, but it's actually relatively common. Essentially, your ex has just decided to break up with you, but because they still have feelings for you and they know that you're a good person, they really hate the idea of having to hurt you or cause you emotional pain by breaking up. And as a result, they'll sometimes try to pick fights or be cruel towards you in hopes that you'll take the bait and react angrily or be equally mean and confrontational in response. And this, of course, will give them a reason, a sort of justification that will make hurting you by breaking up more acceptable. Again, I know this sounds like a strange thought process on the surface, but human psychology is often very complicated, and things like this can happen subconsciously without your ex really even thinking about it. Now, at this point, the question that remains, of course, is how do you react or handle this type of behavior from your ex? What should you do to ensure that they stop being so mean, cold, or angry towards you and go back to being the kind, considerate, and loving partner that you remember from the time when you were together? Well, there's three things that are almost guaranteed to help in this type of situation. First, you need to avoid, taking the bait and being drawn into any kind of conflict or arguments with your ex. If they are being mean or rude, react in a way that they won't expect by not falling into their trap and, just being kind, polite, and really diffusing any kind of potential confrontation. Now, it's important not to be too nice to your ex, but you also need to take the moral high road and not let yourself be dragged into any arguments or lash back out at your ex in response to their rudeness or their cruelty. Now, second, in many cases, you may need to actually re-engage in another period of no contact if your ex is exhibiting these types of behaviors after breaking up. Typically, nothing that you can say or do is going to help change the way your ex is acting. And therefore, by completely ignoring them, giving them time and space is often the best strategy to change their behavior and their opinion about the idea of ever getting back together. I always advocate shutting down the lines of communication with your ex if you are in doubt about what to do, because this is almost never going to actually hurt your chances of getting them back in the long run, but it will ensure that you don't fall into their traps or accidentally make matters worse by doing or saying the wrong thing. And thirdly, if you're struggling to understand your ex's words or actions, or if you just don't know how to handle a particular situation with your ex in order to win them back, please also consider signing up for my one-on-one personal coaching service. It's way more affordable than you might think, and you'll be able to work with me on an ongoing basis and get my help winning back your ex for good. To see my current coaching availability and sign up today, just visit breakupbrad.com/coaching. And finally, beautiful people of YouTube, please, please, please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube to show your support if you find my videos helpful. I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next video.